If you enroll in a Part C Medicare Advantage plan, somebody may have told you at one point that you could be locked in the rest of your life. But no worries, you're not locked into Medicare Advantage. Hi, I'm Larry Goist, owner of LMS Insurance Group, where we help seniors navigate the Medicare Maze. So in today's short video, I'm telling you guys all about Part C Advantage plans and when you're able to leave and go back to original Medicare. So number one, I'm going to tell you what locked in actually means. Then secondly, I'm going to tell you how you could actually drop a Medicare Advantage plan mid-year and go back to original Medicare. And then thirdly, I'm going to tell you about some things you should know before you make that move. And that's all coming up next. Hey, before I dive in, don't forget to like our channel. Definitely subscribe if you find this content helpful. I really appreciate you doing that. Okay, so what does locked into Medicare Advantage actually mean? Well, to be truthful, you're not locked in to a Part C Medicare Advantage plan, but you could be stuck for the remainder of the year. So if anybody has said that you're locked in or you can't change, that's not true. The partial truth would be, in some instances, you might have to keep that plan until January 1st of the next year. So in general, if you want to leave a Medicare Advantage plan and you want to go back to original Medicare, the time of the year to do that is the annual enrollment period, which runs from October 15th till December 7th every year. So during this time, you can opt to drop your Medicare Advantage plan for January 1st, and at that time, you would have original Medicare back, and it's that easy. Okay, now there's a second time of the year when you could do this as well. So between January 1st and March 31st every year, this is called open enrollment period, also known as Medicare Advantage open enrollment period. So anytime in these 3 months, you can drop your Part C Advantage plan and go back to original Medicare the first day of the following month. So if you decided in January you didn't want Medicare Advantage anymore, on February 1st, you could have your original Medicare back, no questions asked. But these are the two general times when you are supposed to make these moves. And again, that is your annual enrollment period, October 15th till December 7th, and then the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period, which is January 1 till March 31st. Okay, so how can you drop a Medicare Advantage plan mid-year? Now, this part is a little more tricky, and in that sense, you might be locked in for the next several months. Because if you're not in those enrollment periods, you can't drop Medicare Advantage and go back to original Medicare. And there's only a few instances where you'd be able to. So if you move, and whatever Advantage plan you have, if it's no longer offered in that new area, that gives you a special enrollment period, and you could in fact go back to original Medicare at the time. And the only other reason I could really think about how you could go back to original Medicare mid-year is if you had a change in Medicaid or extra help. So if you have a change in status on your level of assistance, whether you gain Medicaid, lose Medicaid, you are eligible for extra help, or you lose extra help, they would grant you a special enrollment period for 63 days where you would be able to drop Medicare Advantage and go back to original Medicare on the first day of the next month. Now, one other little note. If it is your first time trying a Medicare Advantage plan, you have 12 months to go back to original Medicare, and that's called a trial right. But it would only be applicable if it was your first time trying Part C. So within 12 months of your effective date, you can use a trial right, and you can go back to original Medicare the first day of the next month, no questions asked. So what should you watch out for if you do drop Medicare Advantage and go back to original Medicare? Well, if you decide to do this, you're going to have 20% cost sharing that you're responsible for, because Medicare pays 80% and you pay 20%. If you want to pick up a Medigap plan to pay that 20% for you, you are going to have to go through medical underwriting. And the only way you would not have to go through medical underwriting is if it was within the first 6 months of your Part B starting. If your Part B had started more than 6 months ago and you wanted to pick up Medigap, you will have to medically qualify. So I guess what I'm saying is if you go back to original Medicare, you're going to have that 20% exposure, and the only way to avoid the 20% exposure is to buy Medigap. And if you want to buy Medigap, you do have to be healthy, aka you have to be able to pass medical underwriting. So guys, to conclude, when somebody tells you that you are locked in Medicare Advantage forever, that is far from the truth. In fact, you have 6 months almost out of the year, October 15th till December 7th, and January 1st till March 31st, where you can absolutely drop Medicare Advantage plans with no questions asked. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. I'll talk to you next time. Larry Goist, LMS Insurance Group. Thanks.